Good morning, children. Today we will discuss chapter 4, that is materials, metals and non-metals. Let us first understand what all will be the learning outcomes. After studying this chapter, you will be able to differentiate between the physical and chemical properties of metals and non-metals. You will be able to write chemical equations as well as word equations for the reactions involved. You will be able to explain the terms malleability, ductility, sonority, etc. And then we will be able to list some uses of metals and non-metals. Let us start the chapter. Before I discuss with you what are metals and non-metals, first let us understand what are metals and non-metals. We all know everything which we see in our surrounding, we call that matter. And you know matter, all kinds of matter, they are made up of particles. Particles may be atoms or may be molecules. Now matter can be a pure substance or a mixture depending on what type of particles that particular matter is made up of. If a matter is made up of only one type of particles, if it is made up of only one type of atoms or one type of molecules, we call it a pure substance. If it is made up of two or more different types of particles which have just simply mixed without any chemical reaction, then the matter which we obtain we call the mixture. Now pure substance can further be divided into two groups, elements and compounds. Now which pure substance will be calling elements? If a pure substance is made up of only one type of atom, though even if it is made up of molecule, but the molecule is made up of only one type of atom, if we try to divide the element, we are not able to obtain a simpler substance, then we call that pure substance an element. Examples are all copper, iron, nickel, cobalt, all hydrogen, nitrogen, oxygen. All these substances, they all are made up of only one type of atoms, and the molecules also are made up of only one type of atoms. So we don't obtain any simpler substance if we use to separate them. Another type of matter, then elements. Element is a pure substance which is made up of only one type of atom, which cannot be further divided. When atoms of different elements combine chemically, then they form one particle which we call the molecule. And if a pure substance is made up of one type of such particles which have the atoms of different elements combined chemically, then we call that pure substance a compound. Elements can further be divided into three categories. One is metals, metalloids, non-metals. Right? Now we'll understand which all substances will call, which all elements will call metals, which all element will fall in the category of non-metals, and what are metalloids. So let us start with metals. There are actually some properties which are shown by the elements which we call metals, and these properties are not shown by the elements which we call non-metal. These properties are like malleability, ductility, they are sonorous. So let us discuss that in detail. First we are talking about the metals. Metals, if you see, metals have shiny surface. A freshly cut surface of every metal has shine. This we call luster. So all metals are lustrous. Then metals are hard, they are not soft, we can't scratch them. Metals have, as I said, they have metallic luster, they are solid, except a metal which is mercury, which is liquid at the room temperature. Then metals are malleable. Let us understand the meaning of malleable. What is malleability? If I take a metal piece, any metal piece, if I hammer it, it does not break. Rather, it will change into a thinner sheet. If I go on beating it, it will go on becoming thinner and thinner. So such a property of metal that they can be beaten into sheets we call malleability, and we consider metals are malleable. Another property is ductility. Ductility, you must have seen all types of wires are made up of metals. You see electric wires, they all are made up of copper, or you may see cables, they are made up of aluminium. All aluminium, copper, they all are metals. Even in ornaments you will see gold and silver, they are used, the wires are used in making the jewelry. Right? This is because of the property the metals can be drawn into wire. This property we call ductility, or we say metals are ductile. Then they have very high melting and boiling points. They melt at very high temperature. Even when molten metal is heated, it boils at a high temperature. Again, there are exceptions, gallium and cesium. They have low melting point. If you keep them on palm, they'll melt. That much heat which is supplied by your palm will be enough to reach their melting point. Metals, they are good conductor of heat. Again, you must have seen all such cooking utensils, cooking pans, they all are made up of metals, and they are made up of metals because they all are good conductor of heat. Then best conductor of heat is silver, and the second best conductor is copper. There are some exceptions of metals also. Lead and mercury are the poor conductor of heat. Another property is metals are good conductor of electricity. You must have seen all electric wires, they are made up of metals. Right? This is because of the property of metals that they are the good conductor of electricity. Then you must have seen all types of bells, they are made up of metal, because when metals are hit, they make a sound. They produce a ringing sound. This property, this we call that metals are sonorous. So we can say the elements which are solid, which are hard, which are malleable, ductile, which are good conductor of heat and electricity, which have high melting and boiling point, which are sonorous, they all are metals. And we can just discuss some examples of metals. As I said that you all are familiar with the metals which we are using in day-to-day life. Copper, silver, gold, aluminium, then zinc, sodium. These all are the examples of metals. Actually, 80% of the elements which are known to us are metals. Now we come to the another type of elements which we call non-metals. So let us find which all elements we call non-metals. Non-metals, they are solid, liquid as well as gases. Only one liquid non-metal, that is bromine. Then we have a number of solid non-metals, sulfur, phosphorus, iodine. These are the solid non-metals, and gaseous non-metals. All these gases which are the elements, they all are the non-metals which are gaseous at room temperature. Non-metals, they are soft, except one exception is there, diamond. You know, that is an allotrope of carbon. That is the hardest material known to us. Then metals normally do not have shiny surfaces, they are not lustrous. There is again another exception, that is iodine. Iodine crystals have luster. Then non-metals cannot be beaten into sheet. If I take any non-metal, let us take solid non-metal, it may be coke, that is carbon. If I take coke piece, if I hammer it, you will find it does not change into sheets, rather it breaks into pieces. So they are brittle, they are not malleable. We can't draw wires out of non-metals, so they are non-ductile also. They have low melting and boiling points, and they are wet conductor of heat. So never, we just simply use we don't use metals for any such utensil or any object where the heat is to be transferred. So they are wet conductor, and they are wet conductor of electricity also. They do not produce any ringing sound, so they are non-sonorous. So let us summarize what are non-metals. Non-metals are the elements which are solid, liquid or gaseous at room temperature. They are soft, they have low melting and boiling point, they are non-malleable, non-ductile, non-sonorous, and they are wet conductor of heat and electricity. Again, example I have already discussed with you. Now, these are the physical properties where we just simply see the color, shape, size. Now, chemical properties, where the metal or non-metals, they undergo a chemical reaction. So, first of all, we will study the reaction of metals and non-metals with oxygen. I have taken a metal, that is magnesium, and you know, you all have studied this in class 7 also. the magnesium ribbon, when it is burnt, what happens? I am burning magnesium ribbon. You see, it burns with a very bright light here. You all can see. Don't look at this burning magnesium ribbon, and you see it changes into white ash. I'm just connecting this white ash. This white ash is actually a new substance which is formed. This is magnesium oxide. Right? So metals react with oxygen and they produce oxide. So here magnesium is burnt, so magnesium oxide is produced. Now let us see whether metallic oxides are acidic or basic. So what I am doing, it's a solid, so I will dissolve it in water. I shake it well and I will be placing